We are officially getting a new Fantastic Four trailer this Wednesday, just a couple of days from now, and a lot of fans are really hoping we get a little bit more info about the real plot of this film. Yes, we know Galactus is coming, yes, we know the Silver Surfer is coming, and yes, we know Franklin Richards is coming, the son of Sue and Reed. But besides that, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding this movie. However, this new plot leak might give us some insight in the trailer on Wednesday as well. Now, we've only really heard a couple of different plot leaks for the Fantastic Four. They kind of line up with each other, but recently we've been getting a lot of official information about the movie. Plus, Marvel Studios did do those test screenings for the Fantastic Four First Steps not too long ago, where we did get a report about what was shown as the post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four, and this leak that has been posted online could very well be coming from one of those people who saw the entire movie. Now, test screenings can result in some changes, but typically nothing too big. So this very well could be the actual plot of the movie, but we'll find out a little bit more Wednesday. And go ahead and let me know in the comments if you want to see Galactus on Wednesday in the trailer, or would you rather Marvel Studios save his big, full, official reveal for the actual movie? Let me know in the comments. Let's dive into it. It says the F4 plot. The film opens with the line, "You all know the story," which is essentially the first scene that we get during the trailer, where they show us the Ted Gilbert show, and Ted Gilbert is the one saying, "You all know the story." But the leak says we get a brief montage of past battles, including the Fantastic Four fighting Mole Man and an action sequence with them fighting Red Ghost and his chimps. Now, we believe that Mole Man is going to be played by Paul Walter Hauser, who is confirmed for the film, and that Red Ghost is going to be played by John Malkovich, who is also confirmed to be in the movie and who we've actually seen in the trailers already. And this opening scene does line up with what we've heard before about what Marvel is planning to do with the movie. It's not going to be a typical origin story. The movie isn't about how they get their powers. They're already established as the Fantastic Four in this universe, and it's about Galactus and how to defeat him and save their Earth. So this opening sequence of Ted Gilbert stating, "You know them," and showing us a montage of them fighting other villains to kind of become famous as the Fantastic Four does line up with everything we've heard so far. And it continues and says, back home, Sue discovers she's pregnant. As the team prepares for the baby's arrival, Shalo-Bal arrives with a warning. The team decides to go into space after her. She takes them to Galactus, who's on a massive ship consuming a planet. Galactus agrees to spare Earth, but only in exchange for their child. Now, this scene right here lines up with a scene from the trailer where we see their ship going to a planet that looks like Earth being destroyed. This is most likely the scene that they are talking about, the one from the trailer. And if you notice in that scene, it does look like Galactus is just kind of beginning to devour the world. But we also have heard from Marvel, from the director actually, that this is a solar system that is very similar to our own and has a planet just like Earth. And that's most likely what we're seeing in this trailer. And that's most likely what this plot leak scene is referring to, where the Silver Surfer takes them to Galactus, who is devouring that Earth, or a planet equivalent to Earth. And I like this because this definitely establishes how big of a threat Galactus is. Showing him killing a planet just like their own will definitely give them fear. But it continues and says, Galactus wants the child, the team refuses and battles the Silver Surfer. During the fight, Shalo-Bal is thrown into a wormhole, where she experiences a month with only minutes passing for the team. In her absence, Reed creates a plan to teleport Earth away from Galactus, but when Shalo-Bal returns, she sabotages the teleportation tech. So this also aligns with another scene that Marvel Studios showed the audience at CCXP. The scene showed the Silver Surfer chasing after the Fantastic Four while Sue Storm was actually giving birth to Franklin on the ship. During this scene, to escape the Silver Surfer, Reed Richards tells Ben, or the Thing, who is flying the ship, to go into a wormhole. Ben is very scared to do so, but Mr. Fantastic says, "Trust me." So they could either go into this wormhole because they know what happened to the Silver Surfer, they know that she ended up being okay, just a month went by for her, or Reed is planning to somehow trick the Silver Surfer by acting like they're going to go into the wormhole, then maybe cutting really quickly at the last second to trick the Silver Surfer to get sucked in. Or maybe at this time, Reed has actually studied the wormholes due to what happened with the Silver Surfer and actually knows how to possibly navigate them. We'll have to wait and see on this one, but it sounds like wormholes wormholes are definitely going to be a part of the Fantastic Four first steps. So after Shia LaBeouf sabotages the teleportation tech, the team pivots and comes up with a new plan. The new plan is to teleport Galactus himself away from Earth. Now, we are about to dive into possible spoiler territory. I'm assuming you don't care if you're watching this video right now, but we're about to talk about the ending and the post-credit scene. So if this is real, you might be hearing the ending and the post-credit scene right now. So here's your chance to click away. It continues and says, Sue is the leader of the team, and she sacrifices herself to defeat Galactus, using all of her power to send him to a portal. But she does not remain dead, and of course we know this because Vanessa Kirby is confirmed to be in Avengers Doomsday. But the leak says that she gets resurrected by her son, Franklin Richards. Now, what's interesting about this is actually in another plot leak that we've heard recently. But the plot leak wasn't for the Fantastic Four, it was for Avengers Doomsday. So I'll tie that into that leak once we finish this and talk about the post-credit scene, because that is what comes next in this leak. It says, post-credits scene. Sue is reading a book to Franklin. She gets up to grab another one. In the background, we hear the sound of a teleportation device activating. When she returns, she freezes. The book slips from her hand. Standing before her is a cloaked figure, Dr. Doom. We don't see his face, but his full body is visible beneath a silver cloak. In one hand, he holds his iconic mask. In the other, he carries an unconscious Franklin. Cut to black. The Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. Now, after Marvel Studios did those test screenings, this is the reported post-credit scene that we heard about. So it does sound like this is very much the post-credit that we're going to get. It's not, of course, officially confirmed, but it sounds like there's a high chance this is what we see. And like I mentioned, this also does link into another leak for Avengers Doomsday that we've heard recently as well. That leak doesn't talk much about the Fantastic Four, but it did talk about Dr. Doom wanting Franklin Richards because Franklin did revive his mother when she died at the end of the Fantastic Four. And I know what everybody is thinking already, it's kind of like the end of the Rise of the Silver Surfer, but if this really does happen, we'll have to see how Marvel handles it. But due to Franklin's ability to resurrect somebody, which kind of matches his counterpoint, he is one of the most powerful characters in Marvel history. And at one point in time, with the help of his sister, he does revive Galactus himself. So this definitely is within his power set, but apparently Dr. Doom wants Franklin because he knows he can revive people and he wants to revive the Scarlet Witch. Now, of course, take both of these plot leaks with a grain of salt. We don't know the fate of the Scarlet Witch yet. We've recently seen a lot of reports stating that they are testing different endings for Vision Quest, and one of those different endings is bringing the Scarlet Witch back. Not necessarily bringing her back from the dead, but simply bringing her back into the story of the MCU. And I've heard a lot of people talk about what Kevin Feige said after Multiverse of Madness, where he said if you take a close look at Wundagore Mountain falling on top of Wanda, you can see a red light flash, basically implying that she's not dead. But that was a long time ago, and that was before Marvel Studios completely decided to change their plans for the multiverse saga. So there is a possibility that in their original plan, she was alive still, but since everything changed, they could have changed it to where she is dead, but Doom does want to bring her back. Why? That's the big question. And if these plot leaks end up being true, again, take them with a grain of salt, but if they do end up being true, we'll find out why in Avengers Doomsday. And on Wednesday, we'll find out more about the plot as well as we get what is most likely going to be the final trailer for the Fantastic Four first steps. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Don't forget to like this video and leave your comments about what you think about these plot leaks in the comments down below. You can find us on most social medias, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.